Welcome back, everybody. We have just come back from a pretty hot, steamy match between Mythic and the Quest, and we will now continue that streak, hopefully, Mike, with Luminosity versus Royal battling it out here in this group. It's going to be an interesting matchup. I believe we are almost ready to go live. We're already in knife round, so we're just going to go ahead and jump straight into in-game. Let's get the action started.
This is one of those maps where knife round actually matters, so Royal going to be presumably picking this up unless Steel wins a 1v3 knife, which never say never, I guess. He's okay, Steel, he's making it happen. They're both one click away, but they overwhelm him on numbers, so they'll eventually catch it out. Royal going to be taking that favorable CT side. Of course, you have to assume that Luminosity are the favorites here, just based on history, based on experience, based on pedigree of the players and the level that they played at. But Royal might be up to surprise some people. They've been playing a lot of Train lately. It's one thing I've noticed. It's had mixed results, but they've at least got a lot of comfort and familiarity with the map. And so I think they might have Luminosity in for a rude awakening.
Yeah, and also Royal's a bit more fresh of a roster, but here we go. Great players nonetheless. It's going to be hit out towards the ladder for Luminosity as they look to transition their way on towards the site. But it is Zeppa with 2 quick kills, eventually answered by Nick Hayes, but it's down to a 4 versus 2.
No bomb plan available. They tried to go for it early. And here's the one. It's Bolts. He's been a man who's done quite a bit lately. And there's 3 looking for the 4th as well. Bolts tapping away. Tex just has to duel off with him, looking for the time, looking for a little bit of space. And he will end the slaughter, putting down Bolts with a surgical USP tap. But that was looking like a highlight reel play. Bolts finding 3 on the flank. He's a man who's been on fire lately for the squad. Been a strong performer. And he was in the All-Star game, I believe, for the MDL at the end, and he certainly did deserve that. So we'll see if he brings that All-Star form through for his squad in Winners League. So far,
so good. Promising. Yeah, I mean, that was clean, almost surgical. B Wills on the B defense. Many angry Brazilians on the other side of that wall, and I imagine if he misplays this, he might find himself dead sooner than he can get support. But it is Josh RT already there with the scout, playing all the way from behind. And I imagine Luminosity just looking for that bomb plant. And they do have armor, so this could get messy.
I like the aggro Zeus on Lucas. You don't see that very often on the T side. A little tougher to make it work, but he's certainly going to be trying for it. So we'll see if it comes into play, or he's just going to let the Deagle lead the way. You never know. Close plant situations can get hairy. They're dumping the utility that they've got to try and get out now, and Josh RT's not going to flinch, but he is going to miss. That's opportunity. Now they know the scout's available. They're going to make life uncomfortable for this player on the bomb train. D-Wills falls after only 1, and that's a Kyoka, if ever I've seen it. They find 2. Bomb can now be planted, and that's successful in the round already, but they're looking for more. They're not ready to just rest on their laurels. The nade, though, will blow the planter away. It's all left to Bolt. He's got no molly, just has to straight take the fight. He found 3 in the previous, but he's so low that he can't peek out. Rico catches him as soon as he does, and there's the defuse.
They're at least keeping it expensive. I mean, bomb plant going down, a few kills in the pocket as well. That might be a buy round coming up right here. See if they're able to swing it. Oh, they're just off that. Yeah, I don't imagine they'd be buying up fully here. If anything, it might just be a few pistols, a little bit of armor once again, but I don't think they go for the full-blown purchase here. Let's see. Yeah, they're just going to go for the upgraded pistols, a little bit of armor, some utility, try to probably transition on towards the site. But Royal, they really need to make this round clean right here. Their economy is struggling.
They have enough utility to just go for the same play if they so choose. Looks like this time they're actually throwing a lot of these nades outer early on. This might be a bit of a pump fake, though. They've drawn 4 players into the site. They're so worried about that initial aggression that they're just going to take ground themselves. With this bunch up into ladder, this could get a little weird. Player late in. Neck is just going to stick around and try and be an object of chaos for the roster. And Josh RT's right on the other side, but the smoke betrays him. The first one fades as the second one blooms, and his toes are sticking out. Nice peek, but the trade is there. This could be expensive again, but Zeppa lines them all up, and it's Rico and Zeppa, the Wombo combo, to shut it down. So you said they had to get clean.
That was it. Yeah, that's exactly what they needed. Now their economy is like, it's almost there. They just need one more good streak of rounds, and that will be stabilized officially. It's kind of on the edge right now. They do have the full utility, though. They do have the full kits this time around. So, you know, retake setups, obviously very common on a map like Train. All those are possible. Let's see what kind of approach Royal takes to this right here. Because, I mean, they probably know they're going to have to get aggressive on the CT side. There's no way they can give room to the Brazilians to roam free on this map. Flashbang comes out. Tex looking to go aggressive, but is immediately punished by Steel. Man advantage starting early here for Luminosity.
There's aggression, and then there's ill-advised aggression. But that's a nice peek from Rico. I don't think he's expecting the second, but Bolt actually hesitates a little bit too long. Nearly gives him the opportunity to get the kill. He'll recover, though, and there's another trade frag. Rico on fire in this round, just bringing back that man advantage and then some. So bomb still available for Luminosity. They didn't commit that in the slightest. They can get this parcel of explosives and now beat a hasty retreat. Looks like they might want to regroup towards the B-bomb site, but as
Look
I
at
say
Rico.
that,
Yeah, Rico's above them.
so far forward.
Yeah, I mean, this is cutting out information, right? As long as he's in this position, Royal knows that they're either coming out T-Con or coming out Ivy, so they can stay strong towards the A site. Here we go, though. Brazilians walking on out, looking for that pick, looking for whatever free space they can find, and Josh might actually get sidelined here, Mike.
He's looking the wrong way. They're creeping right around the corner. They're not making a single footstep either. Josh RT had no idea what was coming. Just gets blindsided completely. Now this stands to B-Wills to try and deny. Rico's not in position yet to get into the action. He'll be coming out T-Con when he does. So it's a post plan. And a lot of utility on the belt of Luminosity as well. They can make this difficult. They can really control where the CTs are coming from.
Yeah, and I wonder if Rico will be able to find something here. Like, there's Nick Kids walking down the lanes. There were so many opportunities for Rico to kind of find that information and get that free kill, but he's been playing passive, expecting aggression to come back into T-Con, but none to be found. The flashback comes out, and now Rico's made footsteps, but they know that he's there, and it's going to be Steel from the ladder, finding that kill, and B-Will's now left in an awkward situation and no time. He's going to have to fall back.
He's just getting out of there. They're not even going to allow him to do that. Nick is just ready for it, swings and catches him in retreat. So well played by Luminosity. They get on the board, and this is the round that they break them. Because despite the fact that Royal won 3 in a row, they never really got clean. So they've got some money in reserve, but it's just not quite enough to justify a full buy. So it's going to be Deagles on the other foot this time, and not any utility really behind it. Meanwhile, Luminosity, they got everything they want. Everything. They knew if they just kept applying pressure, eventually it would break. And this is the response. Aggression in towards the B-halls immediately. They're going to catch one, but the trade is here. Bolts is just ready for this rush, and he's just waiting for them. Still, though, they've gotten a rifle, and they've gotten away, and that's a victory. Maybe not enough.
Yeah, not nearly enough. That one kill is just a consolation at this point. If they can recover the AK, which it is still in the hands of B-Wills, but the hunt hasn't even started yet. The bomb not yet planted. I imagine Luminosity right now gaining all the ground they can, especially towards the CT spawn. Or Rico might get caught off guard here by Nikiz.
Nikiz just trying to make sure they have no chance to bring anything through. Rico at least has armor, but no chance there. The AK, no one's close. Bomb has yet to be planted, though. So as you said, all the time in the world to hunt to their delight. They could just close in the circle around B-Wills, and he's like a criminal on the run. He doesn't know which way they're coming next. Just looking for the searchlights, trying to hear the police dogs chasing him down. And now the peen train is coming. It's slow. Luminosity, honestly, based on what I've seen from this team before, I expected them to hunt a little more aggressively, but they're showing patience here. They don't want to give up an advantage. They won't give up an opportunity. It's certainly going to be a buy for Royal next round either way.
Exactly. I think that's why I think it's kind of like the reservation, right? Is it really worth it to risk, 1 or 2 of our lives and lower our own economy, knowing that Royal will be buying into this next round anyway? But I like this discipline, actually, from Luminosity. I mean, that's the kind of respect this is the kind of respect that, champions have. They're playing the game no matter who their opponent is. I like that from them. And even the money for Royal right now is just a tiny little awkward, but I guess B-Will's saved AK is going to let Josh RT get another weapon. There it is. Yeah, the AUG is dropped. The AK is reserved. Zeppa's picking up the MP9, which I imagine he will be using either up close in B or up close in ladder. And I think it's the ladder, and he's going to go straight into... No, wait, he reverts. He doesn't go straight for ladder. He's going to go for the E-box instead. Even better, going for T-Con.
Full aggressive. Zeppa close up with the SMG. Now he's flashing. There's the timing. Gonna catch off Nekiz with a nade in his hand. Might have more available to him, but finds himself on the wrong side of that smoke and on the wrong side of a hail of bullets. Now it's further pushed up straight out of the T-Con. There is certain control. They're doing damage as well, but it's being traded in kind. Nades all over the place. Fire, flames, smoke, nades. Bomb going to make its way up to be planted. There's still CTs right here, and they're going to prevent that particle explosives from going down. No numbers punched in, and the CTs are chewing them up and spitting them out. It's just steel and bolts, the old comrades, to try and battle this and make that just steal. The IGL now on an island finds the first, but there's more to do, and he's at 30 HP at this point, 50 seconds. So at least he's got time to lose himself. But so much work that needs to be done to bring this back. There's the spot as well. They're going to be closing distance. They've got so many eyes trained on his position. It'll be Josh Harty to tap in the last few bullets and confirm the round for Royal.
Yeah, that was a really messy round to observe.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Chaos.
I'm already liking how this is unfolding, Mike. I'm not gonna lie. This is what gets me excited at night. And I'm sitting there in bed having sleep paralysis. I just think of Counter-Strike, good Counter-Strike, good entertaining Counter-Strike. And this is what I think of right here, a brawl to the death. Henny.
One thing to note, Henny's been struggling a lot. He's got the op in his hands now. This has not been his game so far. It's early days, but this is his favorite gun in the world. And so if they can get Henny active and opening up sites, they're going to be...
Right, and that's like kind of the bread and butter for him, right? And he's already sent off in the right direction, and T-Con looking for those picks wherever he can. Lucas, though, getting sprayed down and kind of contact pointing towards the upper B hall. They have 1-for-1 trades. Now, this generally does favor Luminosity. Map control as well as a pick. That really spreads the defense thin here, especially considering they only have 2 men on the air defense to hold down 3 entries. That's really hard.
Texas going to be next point of contact. There's 2 players right around the corner, and he's so very ready for this. I don't think they're going to have a flash for it. They're just going to peek in. There's the shoulder bait, and he's rock solid in the duel. Doesn't win out this one. The utility's just a little bit too late here. That's a nice peek, though. They're getting picked apart in the outer yard. And just on the other side, Rico's actually walked through. Henny, close-up, shotgun off and get the better of him. They can't get any more grounds. Josh Harty to eliminate him from the server. So finally, he's cracked that goose egg at the very least, but it doesn't yield a round for Luminosity. They are struggling. This is, of course, trained, so you do expect to see that very strong CT side. For Royal, they're setting up a great curtain of defense. And it's just tough for Luminosity to make that initial crack show.
Yeah, I mean, right now, it's not like it's like anything crazy coming out from Royal, right? They're not running some like profound strats. It's literally just raw confidence and communication that's kind of leading them to this comfortable lead that they have right now. And they've been rewarded with an eco round for Luminosity as they look to quickly try to get bum rush into the brown halls, gain as much control early as possible. But they don't have the bomb, so I don't imagine to be transitioning too quickly here.
That nade might feast a little bit.
Ooh,
actually only catches the edge in that case. He moved just in time. Slid out from under it. No problem there. This could get interesting. The SMG up close and ladder. It's sort of where you were expecting it to be previously.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
I like that play. One of the players was kind of just like jiggling, baiting, and as soon as he jiggled once, he just jumped across, forced Tex to peek out wide, and the shot to the face, the Keota, it comes out.
It's always great with Brazilian players when you get those Keota moments.
Yeah.
Just feel it.
It's a Brazilian Deagle, man. It's a hand cannon for real. Bolt's not liking that exchange. I can tell you that. There it is, the ball making its way back towards the B site, where Luminosity will attempt to get a bomb plant, and that will help their economy. But it's not looking hot for them right now, Mike.
B-Will should have this on lock. Bolt's just going to be the presence poking out from upper, trying to distract a little bit of focus. I like this off angle. He's going to get the first, the second as well, and the third as they just walk into him. Bolt's ripped from the heavens. Zeppa comes into support. There's just no opportunity to get this bomb planted. Nekiz at least clears off the flanks. So now he's got an SMG and a little bit of space to work with. But how does he even get out of this? 2 flashes, but so many angles to check. So many players watching his direction. And even though he hits the first shot, it's not ahead. Zeppa can trade him out effectively. So Royal, 6-2. The guns will be coming back out here. There is going to be an op for Henny as well, which could be a critical piece. The question is, does the op come out and return? It would be a glass cannon, and the answer is a solid no.
5
I don't
Augs,
think
though.
we've seen a CT side op yet.
Do they even need it at this point?
Maybe not.
Yeah, the Augs are working out beautifully. They're taking all the proper engagement that they need. They're not really sacrificing their mobility for it either. So far, so good. Grenades are well placed. Bolt's taking a lot of damage, and that's to flood out the ladder. And so many players are losing their lives right here. And it's unfolding very unfavorably for the Luminosity side, with only Steel remaining, wondering what the heck is going on right now. His Royal looks pretty... I have to say, they look really good.
They really do. Steel's just getting into position. His team is all dead. Takes the phase, because what else are you going to do in that situation? He's just got to straight win the aim duel if he's going to have any chance. And it's just not going to happen. Royal, like you said, they're doing nothing too complicated. This is very fundamental train CS in the CT side. They're just hitting their shots and holding their angles confidently and playing it very effectively. And Luminosity just doesn't have an answer. They haven't found anything in their toolkit to bring this back. And they're back on the pistols. They've got the Deagles, which they've had some degree of success with. Let's see what they can crack. Aggression in the B halls with the op. That's risky. It's not punished, and they're going to leave a player pushed up on the ramp as a result. So Zeppa can hold that forward angle and use the big noise of Josh Hartley's op to choose when to strike.
What a shot. That was through the wall. He didn't even see him fully. He just kind of peeked out the corner of that wall and just shot him in the face. Look at this Ivy push coming in right now. Only one man holding for it at the moment. That's going to be Tex, the Ivy player. He's just holding it down. The flashbang is going to come out. It's going to get him completely blind, but his position isn't compromised yet until the shot pops off. Josh only able to find one. Penny following up with two. Rico eventually answers back, but it's down to a 3 versus 3, and there's absolute chaos happening on the A site, Mike.
This is madness. It's the closest Luminosity have gotten to a round in a very long time, especially now that it's all Rico isolated. The bomb is on a walkabout to the other site. Won't even matter as Bolts just wins it out in the straight duel with the Deagle. So Luminosity, they've been scrabbling, they've been struggling to get around on the board, and finally they do it with pistols. And because they've kept a lot of rounds close, that economy for Royal is right back into the dumps. The SCGs are coming back out. There's still an op they managed to purchase up for Josh RT, but it's a scout on Tex. The Augs aren't as plentiful as they were previously, and now Steel and Bolts have Augs of their own.
Yeah, this is becoming battle of the Augs at this point. Royal definitely with a less than ideal purchase here. Let's see how it plays out. I mean, Luminosity's doing a great job, and with this pick coming out from Josh, actually, that might make things a little bit awkward here for Luminosity, because Steel was the only person applying pressure on A, and soon Royal will get their spidey senses tingling, but it's going to be an explode, a bum rush towards the B site.
Already out and past. Wow. P-Wheel's trying to take the peek. You can't do that against this caliber of player. They will punish you. And he peeks back into the angle, gets his head ripped from his shoulders. Bomb now being planted. 4-on-4 retake. The Molly has different ideas, though. Rico's already past Neckis. That's an easy clean strike. Getting it messy on site, and Zeppa's leading the charge, but there's still 2 to dig out, and they've got the position on high. No Molly to clear it out, and there's a smoke from the CT to block off the potential defuse. But having eliminated the Sentinel, it's all just going to be Zeppa peek into the angle. And even though he does get one, the mop-up is there from Bolts, and the money has run out for Royal. They've got nothing. And this is where it gets difficult as a CT side.
Yeah. No doubt. This is where it gets really awkward, because now the money's kind of run thin, right? It's all nice and dandy. It's all fun and games when you have money. But as soon as you don't have those Augs, as soon as you don't have those IWPs anymore, it doesn't become as fun suddenly. But it's going to be a bum rush coming out here for Royal. 4 men pushing in, but the Molotovs are well placed. And that's going to burn. Look at their health just melting.
Oh. They tried this once previously. They managed to steal away an AK that time. There's no one forward for them to really find. It's just going to be Lucas with the bow down. He's found 2, make that 3, and he goes to the pistol for the last. No health, but it won't matter. Lucas still hits the shot, and it is a clean sweep for Luminosity as they just wipe Royal off of the board and take their 5th round. This is already a successful T-side on Train, to be quite frank. And at this point, they're just looking to stack rounds on top like cherries on top of a sundae.
Yeah, this is the comeback at Sam. I mean, Luminosity can pick up a 6th round right here. Even if they lose out this half at 9-6, that's still a great finish considering they lost the pistol, right? So, I mean, Luminosity's still on track for a decent Train finish. If they pick up the remaining rounds, that's a blessing. But Lucas is already down. Nikiz has found himself a kill, and the bomb site is pretty much almost open here. All the remaining players for Royal are over here, but they're all kind of funneled and stuck in different angles.
It almost feels like Luminosity's just loosening up here, and it's working out. That's a great pick from Bolts, who's working his way out to the yard. He's looking to get more, but it's not quite going to be there. Still so much damage done, and Zeppa's position compromised. There's 2 players here, and there's no reason to commit from Luminosity. They could just completely circumvent it and take it towards the inner yard. Not going to quite yet, but it's definitely a thought that's got to be creeping in the back of their mind. Instead, they'll tighten the noose on towards A. Players circling from every direction. The backstab should be coming in just a moment, Roy. They're all here.
Yeah, it's really difficult duel with the AK-47 versus just pistols. Zeppa tries to get something done with that recovered AK, but he's unable to find his footing well enough. But there it is, Luminosity at that 6th round mark. Even if they, like I said, even if they lose out right here, this is still a good Seaside Train.
It's great.
If they pick up a
It's
7th,
phenomenal.
if they pick up an 8th, that's phenomenal half, especially when you lose pistol.
They're making this very challenging for Royal. They are making it very challenging. This is the round where Royal has to put their foot down and say, all right, you're only getting the 9-6. We've got to win it. They've got the op. They should theoretically have the advantage. All the Augs are out here as well. And a lot's going to come down to this initial pick from Josh RT. He's got to hit his shot. They're getting ready to run boost, I believe, right over his crosshair, and that's exactly what they'll do. So now his position's compromised. He just has to smoke and get out of there. The volley and the spray will find him, though, and that is the king off the board. That was their big gun gone. Zeppa is forward, might have a chance to bring back a little bit of damage, but he's in an awkward spot as well. He'll make the best out of it, making lemonade out of those lemons. He's still got more to find. And he's up to the task. 3 kills now. The remaining players wrapping around towards Old Bomb, but they don't have the new bomb. They can't get it towards the site because they need to go back and recover it, and Rico will drop them in a hail of Aug fire in the meantime. 8-6. We said Royal had to put their foot down there. Despite losing the op, they're able to do so, and now we come to the last round of the half. Will they be able to close it out 9-6, or is Luminosity going to make it ever so closer?
I mean, they have everything they need, right, for this final round. If anything, Royal's on a worse purchase. They have a B-Wills down to an MP9, limited on the utility for 2 of their players. They have, like, what, how many? 1 kit, 2 kits in play at most? I mean, scales are definitely still tipped to the Brazilian side. If they can finish off this last round, I'd be pretty concerned for Royal coming into the second half. But, man, you have to give credit to Zeppa. This man is performing. Wow.
He's a relatively new name on my radar for this last season, and he really showed up as a big name every time I watched one of their. I mean, previously they were known as Infamous, now Royal. Every time I watched one of their games, Zeppos was one of those players who there were just a few rounds every game that leapt off the board to you. It really made you take note and say, all right, this is someone we got to watch.
Let's see if he can keep performing like this throughout this entire season. I mean, it's a long season coming up right now, so we really kind of have a pretty good idea of what players are, shining against what level of competition. Regardless, it's a slow round coming out here for LG. Slow control towards Ivy, slowly creeping on up. Tex with an important kill onto Lucas, man advantage.
Good trade from Bolts, but he's not so very low. Now they're wrapping around towards Ivy, and they're going to take out that player. Tex dropped. Means that this outer yard is a little bit compromised, but they're going to be holding strong. Rico raining out bullet fire, finding kills. The op leading the charge back in, and Rico so very low means the nade is going to find him perfectly. It's all on B-Wills, who's just got an MP9. Bolts is susceptible to this SMG fire, but his teammates are going to be a little better armored, and Steel is watching for this angle like a hawk. He's just ready for B-Wills to round the corner. Though they haven't spotted each other yet, it feels like it's just a matter of time. It'll be Henny instead to find the kill, and an 8-7 half. Luminosity losing the pistol and still bringing it back to 8-7 on T-side of Train. What a strong performance from them. Yeah,
definitely. Like I said, I mean, even a 9-6 finish, I would still be concerned for Royal. An 8-7 is a lot more dangerous. Let's see how this pistol unfolds. So this will definitely kind of swing the momentum here for either of these teams. Pretty close game. Royal, if they pick up this pistol, that will be a comfortable lead for them. Maybe picking up the 10-7. Luminosity, that might be their lead finally. Let's see how this unfolds. Bolts picking up a nade, picking up a kit. B250, I believe, dropped 4 steel. Wait, no, I think my math is off here. Yeah, my math, that's a P2000. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Steel going to be tapping away. He is the first point of contact, whichever gun he's got. The P2K. I was going to say, usually he's the one who takes the sacrifice and drops things. But it is going to be armor across the board, except for Bolts picking up that all-important kit. And Bolts is going to be the man of the hour. He's hitting 1 and the 2nd as well. They're deleted as they move down ramp. The bomb hasn't committed, but Josh RT is now all that remains of this push. And he hasn't even been able to find 1 kill. So he's going to have to go ahead and fade away, and instead they'll start to hit towards outer, but they've allowed enough time for the rotation to come back, and it's Lucas just eating them up as they drop down ladder, chewing them up and spitting them out with big old mouthfuls. Rico last to fall, and that is a flawless pistol round from Luminosity. You have to imagine, after giving up that first half pistol, coming back with such a clean one in the second half, they are ready to roll this momentum forward.
Yeah, I mean, this is everything that Luminosity needs to regain their stride here. I think Royal needed like 10 rounds in the first half, considering how that went, for them to really feel comfortable on this T side. They have especially considering that Royal is relatively a new roster. Their core has been together for a minute, but it's only Josh and B-Wills. Zeppa, Tex, and Rico are all recent pickups. And it is now Royals headed over towards the B.
This is just the classic, right? You've got very little to work with, so just try and overwhelm them towards that inner yard and get a bomb plant. It's almost the kamikaze approach of just throw bodies, enough bodies to push the CTs far enough back that you can get this bomb planted, but they're getting chewed up before they even see a CT player. This utility is chunking them down, and now 4 players on imperfect health. They're going to be very susceptible to the SMGs, many of which lie in wait for them. Henny takes the initial face, and he is going to be knocking down 3 players. Bolt's still here and still a threat. It's all just Rico's got players fast on the flank and no chance to get anything. Flawless pistol, flawless second round. Luminosity, they need business here in the second half.
Yeah, that lack of bomb play now is going to kind of leave Royal a little bit of a tough spot. They have all the weapons they need. They're not able to pick up the AWP, though. But, hey, the SGs, that will do for sure. No Molotovs, though. That might be tricky to work with. Let's see if they decide to go fast this round or if they just work the SG slow towards Ivy. Aggression coming out from Luminosity. A bit of a counter to what Royal is doing right now, but it's about to get bloody.
B-Wills takes the first. The blood is shed. They're still forward. Luminosity wants to face this, and the timing might be there. Steel gets a little bit of pepper damage. His position's compromised, and he's losing teammates, so he's got to get the heck out of dodge. There's the next spot, trying to close distance with this SMG as well. It's going to catch him out. This is looking like a good round for Royal, putting the advantage of the range of the rifles to use in a big way. Rico, a little bit of a misplay. Wasn't expecting Nekiz on that side of the smoke. He's going to leave himself exposed and vulnerable, and Nekiz is answering back. He's got 3 of his own before finally being silenced, but Bolts is a sneaky man indeed, and he's on the flank, and never count this man out in the lurk. He's going to be coming through late. There is a smoke to block out T-Con, so it should be a tough road to swallow. And Royal, they're going to get the bomb planted safe, far away from him. Man's tiptoeing his way out T-Con now. He's got a rifle that he can retrieve, realizes that it's clear, and now he'll upgrade. That's the Krieg. Now fight them range for range without a problem. But as soon as he goes up the ladder, Josh RT is watching for it, saw the molly fly out, knew exactly where he would be, and was just ready for the moment. So we are tied up once again. Royal answering back now that rifles are on the server, but it's going to presumably be a buyback, though Henny will be limited, as Luminosity want to give no quarter here in the second half.
Yeah, they definitely don't want to run under pressure now, especially with the economy being so bad for both of these teams. Giving up a round right here to Royal would surely mean the economy can start stacking, but it's going to be a quick fake outside for Royal, but they seem to be headed really heavily towards that B site. That's where their crosshairs are at right now. They have to get past this double defense from Luminosity playing in their faces. This is going to get really weird really soon, Mike.
It really is. Neck is going to be the first point man. He's mollied out. He's got to get back. He dropped a little bit of damage in the smoke as well, but Nade sailing past him. Going to do a little bit more. He's in a very compromised spot. He'll dump his utility to at least stave them off for a moment, but now only 2 smokes and a single flash to do. They've just got to face. They've got to get aggressive. Steel, I love this spot with the AUG. This is a great swing gun, and as the distraction is there, the point is taken, and he can swing and fire. Bolts lining him up as well. Now it's just Josh RT and Tex to try and find something and make that just Tex. Was the lone Texan on the server. Bomb planted, or dropped rather. Not planted where he'd like it, but planted in the dirt. He's got to do so much. 3 players still up, though he's found the first. Bolts on the flank. Has him dead to rights, even if he had the right idea. 10-9 Luminosity are the first to climb to double digits. And they're going to reset Royal as well.
This might be Luminosity's chance to run away with this half and get a massive lead over here. They can keep this round clean. If they can lose very minimal amount of people, that will be their economy sort of erring on the side of stable. And that will kind of put the advantage in their favor in their pockets. But it's Royal with Deagles. You can't discount them. They have so much talent on one team. You know, they have players like, you know, Rico's a little bit slept on, I swear. I mean, this man was on NRG for a while. This guy was competing, you know, on some of the best NA teams at one point.
He could definitely be solid when called upon.
For sure. I mean, Josh RT is also kind of like the forefather of a lot of pro players, right? Ethan, Yay, a lot of these players have been on Josh RT's rosters before, so by no means strangers in the game, or especially strangers to high-level play. Here we go. Zeppa lurking out in the outer courtyard, unable to find his kill, unable to find a footing. A few bullets to the chest and death. It's 5 versus 4, and Royal just trying to figure out what to do in this round right here.
Speaking of Josh RT, he's gotten himself a haircut. And once again, Luminosity looking like they're trying to take this through as flawlessly as possible. These pistols keep taking range duels, and that's just not going to be the ticket. It's only B-Wills left. At least he can get the bomb on his back, but 5 Luminosity players, not a single one of whom has been touched. I mean, they haven't even had a straight pistol bullet go their way. There's the dig that they needed, but B-Wills, can he follow it up? He's trying to chase Steel down, but he's going to be chased down in turn. So finally a little bit of damage done, but it won't matter. Luminosity keep all 5 up, and it is an 11-9 score now as Luminosity try and bring us through to the closing side of the half. Royal, though, they're going to get another bye here, and they've got something else to say about it. They're certainly not out of it yet, but it does get tougher from here on out.
This is like the most unusual map of train I've seen in a while. I don't know if it's just because of the new economy, but no one's buying ops. They're just going for the rifles and scoped weapons.
Like, we saw Henny T-side offing, but we really haven't seen it from the CT. Look at this aggression from B-Wills. He's so far forward, and bodies are dropping, so he's already down by the ladder. He's going to eliminate a player coming out. Old Bomb, this site has fallen lickety-split. I mean, we're still at a minute 30 in the round, and the bomb is planted. There's only one player up for Luminosity. Bolts is just wondering what's happened. He's looking at the clock and going, really, guys? 25 seconds in?
Yeah, I mean, I'm wondering what the heck's happening. And I'm watching this game by the second. Bolts, no chance about the save right here. Again, the economy for Luminosity being so clean in the round before. They have stabilized, so they will have at least a good, decent buy coming into this next round. But that might be their final investment. Royal doing a great job keeping 4 players alive, even with raw aggression. I mean, I expected this to be a lot messier, but somehow they came out with only 1 casualty. That's a job well done, if I can say so.
That's exactly what they needed. You imagine from Luminosity that now we're finally going to see that CT side off, right? We have to see it. Henny has the money for it. It's got to come out. It's their trump card, I would say, is that raw opping power from Henny. So I'm expecting it right here. He won't have head armor, but that really shouldn't matter. And that might be the wrinkle they need to carry this through. There we go. There's the op. A little bit of utility behind it. Rifles behind it. So this is going to be a solid buy. But Royal, they've got everything they want now. They can go for full executes. They can fake. They can drop those smokes and mollies and just bait out a response. And using that power, they might be able to draw us tied.
I really wonder what Henny's going to be up to with this op. I wonder if he's just going to kind of linger around, look for picks, look for people kind of being, you know, peaky. Or if he just goes for the raw aggression and kind of tries to open up the round for his team. Right now, it's Lucas in the ladder. Of course, this is a really good spot for the defense. As long as you maintain ladder control, you pretty much control the aggression towards the A site. But Lucas is pushed off by utility.
It's interesting. He goes out based on the molly, expecting to push out T-Con, and immediately comes back, dropping 1 by 1. Not to take it, but the second to drop Tex will actually be able to win out the trade. So that's great. You've taken 1 wrinkle out of the defense, and you set them on the back foot. I like this position by the Spools for Steel. Considering he's got support all the way back from Bolts, that can sort of draw focus and then allow Steel the opportunity. Here's the footsteps now. The drop's going to come in. They spotted him, but a second too late, and there's the support from on high. And it's all just B-Wills who can't get out the ramp. He gets 1, but instantly traded. Luminosity clamped down. They keep that op alive, and they keep 2 players along with them. So the money's back, and meanwhile for Royal, they might be able to invest back into this.
Yeah, I think they will.
A little hairy. They're getting the op themselves. Here we go.
Yeah, I really like that setup too from Luminosity. I mean, just so much trust in each other, right? The player playing Spools, a player all the way in the back supporting, which I believe was Nikiz all the way in the back. But yeah, let's see this. Finally, the op versus op comes out, and I wonder what. Yeah, it's just gonna be a battle on towards the Ivy, I imagine. Oh, it's exactly that.
Henny. Just roaming around the outer yard. That man's just looking for the pick. You were wondering how he's going to play. It's the rover, right? Not holding just one angle, but trying to take a shot and then move. Keep them guessing about where that ace up the sleeve is hit. Still, this Ivy push might yield fruit. There's no one to really prevent them from getting around towards Old Bomb, and the cover of smoke is going to allow them a lot of space to operate. Boost, but he's actually going to find the timing after the flash is thrown. That's just that experience coming to bear. He knows the angle perfectly, and he executes. Text drop is very awkward indeed, and they're just losing bodies left and right. Josh RT has the op, but he hasn't really had an opportunity to play. Now he gets flanked, so that will ring out, but ring out in the wrong direction, and Rico's now just left the ladder with a smoke in his face, and so much to do. 40 seconds on the clock and 5 players to find.
I think this is the swing round right here, Mike. This is going to be the deciding factor in how this game unfolds. If Rico comes out with at least 2 kills right here, I say they run out with this half. Rico finds 1, Rico finds 2, Rico finds 3, and he's going for the 4th. What the heck just happened, Mike?
Rico swings and he hits. He needs to find 2 more, but there's opportunity. However, pushed out from the E-box by a molly. or the threat of one, he's going to be out in the open and put down. That was a glimmer of hope, but it was snuffed. That was so promising. I mean, 3, one after another. Just the headshots come through. It's a shame they couldn't quite.
Man, that was crazy. 3 kills though. That's massive. Look how low the economy is now for Luminosity. It would have been so much higher had they had those 3 extra players alive. But now they're on the constant pressure of being reset so late into this game. Royal not out of this just yet. 13-10 lead for Luminosity. They're sitting comfortable. Pack is coming here, Mike, towards the B site.
They are a mess. They've got the smokes for this at least. They tried it once previously, just pure dry, and that did not work out. At least with a little bit of the veil of smoke, they might be able to get the plant down and give themselves a chance to battle when Luminosity are on 14. And here they are going to come sailing on towards site. It's going to be up to Bolts and Steel to defend, and Steel does have the AWP. Bolts up close. His spray goes a little high and wide, and he'll get the first, but not the second. Now Steel's mopping him up with the up close. The bomb will at the very least be planted. This retake should still be difficult. Tex forward, though, is going to get himself an AK for free, as Nekas was just hopping around with his knife out. This gets very messy indeed. Tex and Rico both low, but they've got opportunity and they're forward. They've got these aggressive stances, and that's a deagle shot if ever I've seen one. Rico hits the first, has opportunity for the second.
Wow.
But Kenny with a USP prevents the error from being catastrophic. He'll mob him up, he'll get the round, and he'll save Luminosity from giving out what would have been a very embarrassing loss.
You know, out of all the weapons in everyone's hands, I really did not think the USP was going to be the one getting the 1 versus 2 right there. Like, they had ops, they had AUGs, deagles, AKs, literally SGs, like everything was on the board right there. And it was the USP of all weapons to pick up 2 kills. That is massive. They're coming out from Henny. 14-10 lead now.
Sometimes you go to the Froyo bar and you see all the flavors and all you say is, I just want vanilla.
You know, sometimes. But vanilla is the most complex flavor of all. It combines 100 different flavors into one.
There you go. The USP is the most complex pistol. Combines 100 different pistols into one? Not sure about that, but Tex is certainly trying to get some combinations of kills, and he's only going to be able to find one. That is, now Henny has the long-range op, but they're going to bait him around. However, on the second swing, he's got it. He's just raining out shots to put the fear of God into them. Zeppa's lost himself one to train cars, and he'll turn that into a frag and possibly more, as he's in a forward position for sure. There's the second as well. We saw him have a heroic performance in a couple rounds in the first half. Can he do it here? He certainly needs to. Numbers will now be punched in. Royal with a man advantage in the post plant. It's not something we've been able to say for quite a while. And Josh RT should have Bolts dead to rights. I say should, but the shoulder peek is baited out brilliantly by Bolts. Now he can move forward. It's all on Lucas, though, who's got a lot of room to rumble, and the bomb not planted in a favorable position for him. No utility as well to block it off, so he just has to win the duel. He's spotted now. There's the swing, and he's going to get mopped down.
14-11. 2 players alive. That's not bad. Could be better, could be worse, but it's an eco round. This is the chance for Royal to build up their economy now. They still have the 2 lost bonus, so even if they drop this round, at least they have some sort of safeguard. Although I don't imagine they will be dropping this round, but wait, did the full buy come out here? Oh, they went for the full buy. This was a double reset. That's rough, if anything. If Luminosity loses this round, that's 2 rounds.
Nice wall spam from Josh RT. Lines it up. That was perfectly on Henny's chest. Down to half right off the bat, and that was in some ways the big gun. He's got no armor, but it's the scout at the least, which can be a deadly weapon on this map. A little hesitation from Royal. They know how big this can be. Look at this peek from Lucas, just goes straight into the ladder, and he catches him out. That's a rifle gain. That doubles their weaponry in many ways. And Luminosity, they've now got something to work with. Royal, they wait so long, they almost give the initiative away.
Nick is down to 12 HP. He's stuck towards Sandwich, and Zeppa is going... Wait, what? Surely he saw him. He sprayed him down to 12 HP. But Nick is able to squeeze out 1 kill. B Wills and Tex now surgical removal of players on the bomb side. But Lucas with that gained SG from ladder evens it up. 2 versus 2. Josh RT now sort of stuck towards Tikon. He has to hold down Lucas. And if he misses the shot, he'll find himself dead. Well, you have to reposition. Bolts all the way from back. Ivy looking for that kill. Bomb is now being planted towards back bomb, and it is now a battle.
I love the positioning from Bolts, but just missing that initial deagle shot, it's so tough, and the flash comes in to blind him out as he's out in no man's land. The kill comes through, and Royal, they claw back another round. And this was the double eco situation. So here's the punishment. Luminosity, they're going to have to save here. They've got nothing to work with whatsoever. Lucas upgrades at least to a 5-7, but that's about all you can say in favor. Henny even picks up an HE, and I don't know that that's well advised, considering he drops down to 1600. They've got to give themselves the best chance to close this out. The Royal, they're going to make this very messy indeed, but that's a big pick to find. Netkiz early on, and Lucas just tap away with the P250s and find kills. He nearly overlooked the position. Henny actually kills Lucas.
Yeah, wait, I was just gonna say, is that a team kill?
Yeah. What? So he buys the HE, and all it yields is a team kill.
Man, that's rough. Zeppa now cleaning up Netkiz. Both is the last player, and he's running, so they know exactly where he is, and he has been removed. Still a pretty expensive round for Royal. I mean, losing 2 players on a full USP round, that's not good.
It's not great. It's so late in, I don't know if Luminosity will really have a chance to punish it, you know?
But, I mean, let's see here. Okay, we'll know once everybody buys up. But it's really just B-Wills and Josh RT sitting at a comfortable amount of money. Rico hasn't purchased yet, and Zeppa doesn't appear to have purchased a weapon either. So if those two...
I think Zeppa may have dropped one. Let's see. Pause comes in. Are there any guns on the ground? Quick math. Nope, no guns on the ground, so Zeppa's gonna have to buy. So yeah, you're right. It actually could come back to bite them.
Yeah, I mean, if Luminosity close off this round, they have themselves a pretty good next round to close off this game. But if Luminosity lose this round, that will put them... That might put Royal at the 15th mark, and they actually might get match point first.
Quick side note, when Henny kills Lucas, do you think it's fratricide in server?
Oh, no.
You think it qualifies?
I think it does. I think it does. I don't know if many people understood that reference, but...
you know. Those that do will appreciate it. Look at this aggression into T-Con. Henny is so far forward. And you like to see this when he doesn't have the op in hand and he's not the big gun. He does like to get aggressive. T-Wills is holding for it. There's the peak. Now they know that this is all his territory, though. They're going to have to full clear it with utility if they want to reassert control. And so he can go elsewhere. He can just completely abandon it and freelance off into another position. The utility is good, and they're checking for it. Zeppa's not expecting a player to be so close. So Henny punishes. That's a big first pick, and they're going to re-aggress towards Ivy instead. There are players here to defend as well. There's a hail of bullets, and they're not coming out on top. Netkiz and Henny dropping more bodies. It's all on Josh RT and B-Wills to try and find through the round. This could get very messy indeed.
Oh no, a missed shot from Josh RT leaves him dead, but B-Wills now left in a very uncomfortable scenario. 5 HP in a 1 versus 4. This might be too much to ask from one person. Not only that, but 25 seconds left. I think this is just going to be a save. He has some money left over. He could drop an AK over to one of his teammates, no problem. Just give Josh back the op and pick up an AK himself. But this is Luminosity picking up a massive, massive round, plus keeping 4 players alive. This couldn't have ended any better. 1 player. That's all they can afford. They can't risk it anymore.
They really don't want to hunt. The flip side, though, is an op-out. As you had said, the money's weird for Royal. They've got 2 players who are going to need a drop. B-Wills, if he dies after timer, that would be so punishing. He survives, though, and now he can drop the op and another for Zeppa. So they'll actually have a pretty decent buy here if it is a little scrappy. The Luminosity side, though, just needs 1 more. They've secured overtime at the least. But considering the matchup, this is a terrific performance on the T side for Royal. We were doubting it a little bit, maybe, after the first half.
Definitely.
They've really battled back here.
Definitely. I mean, we had some reasonable reasons as to why that might be so, but they're proving us wrong. So I like that too.
Early dunk nade on the Josh RT is going to make that op a little bit trickier to wield. It certainly makes him a little less comfortable, though Bogdan says maybe he'll be all right. Players grouping up for a B hit. It feels like we haven't seen one of these in a little while. It's been a lot of outer play.
Yeah, actually,
bring it back inside.
Well played smoke by Bolt. Couldn't have been any better timing. Okay, some chip damage. Doing 34 to Tex. Okay. You take that. That's free damage right there.
It's almost like the brakes got applied. As soon as they got their legs peppered just a little bit, it's like, all right, let's slow down. Let's see if they'll get aggressive. Let's see what they'll do.
I wish if, like, harassment damage was a stat. I wish I could see that. Just like doing damage
where it doesn't turn into a kill.
Right, yeah, exactly. Just like damage that you don't take back or you take little back. That'd be a really cool stat to see. There's just so many players that are really good at that, right? Just kind of poking. There it is. Now the XU's coming in. The Molotovs, the smoke, the flashbang, they're all raining in, and the commitment is happening, Mike. Here it goes.
It all comes down to this, and Henny is the first piece off the board. The first chess piece to fall. Zeppa finds another as Bolts tries to get aggressive. That bomb is planted, and now a double man advantage. This is very doable for Royal. They're battling to bring this to overtime, and what a great start. Zeppa forward is just demolishing players, ripping heads from shoulders, and they're already into the save, but there's not going to be allowed. Rico's got the lineup. He's got the first and the second, and Royal, they've made a game of this. One more round, and we're on to OT. The full 30, baby.
But
we're
wait,
going
Mike.
distance here.
But there's a big problem here for Luminosity. I think we're going to OT.
I'm feeling it.
Yeah, this is an OT. This is what, double scouts, a 5.7, a Deagle, a P250 for Henny. This is not an ideal purchase for the 30th round by any means. Look at his weapons for Royal. Op, 3 2 AKs, an M4 and an SG. Lucas unable to find a kill, and Ladder doing a lot of damage, but damage is not enough. Now Luminosity find themselves in a predicament.
That was really bold, going down ladder against a broken buy. It works out, but that was bold. You never know if he might have bought up a shotgun or what's going on there. A tricky play. This time, it works. Josh RT is going to try and open a little bit of space with the op over towards Ivy as well. They're now creeping as the remainder of his team sort of stands still and waits for this Ivy presence to go through to yield fruit. There's no one really close to contest. They've sort of shrunk into the site proper in towards the bomb train itself. So it's almost like a hedgehog rolling in on itself. The question is that just going to let the Predator get close enough to do the damage they need?
And round slows down just a little bit right here. Royal's doing a good job just kind of controlling the pace of the round. There's so much confusion. You can just tell that Luminosity's not quite sure where to expect the aggression to come from, but there it is. And his position is compromised, and he's eliminated by the players in Seacon. A well-placed grenade does a lot of damage, and that's going to soften them up.
Neck is with the tag. Josh RT trades it, but they've done a good job of battling back. Though Josh RT with the op reigns supreme. He says, you've got scouts. That's cute. Steal, though, gets very cute indeed, but only for a moment. Rico puts him down, and that is going to be 15-15, folks. We're going to overtime. Luminosity and Royals, and this is a Royal confusion as it all fell apart. The comeback was realized. And now we got the full overtime. Is this the first overtime of Winners League this season?
No, we think we had one earlier today.
Did we in the U games?
Yeah.
Well, the first overtime of NA Winners League, then. I'll take what I can get.
You know, sometimes you got to take those. And Royal takes those as they've made their way into overtime. And this is a whole new ball game, right? 16k MR3 means weapons possible for all 3 rounds of each half. Let's see how it unfolds here. Let's see if there's a culture difference. Josh RT finding an important frag, punishing Honey's aggression towards the upper round, aka box halls. That's a great find. That's going to keep one player committed to the B side, which really weakens the defense towards the A. But luckily for Luminosity, they do have control of ladder for the time being. And again, that's a big piece of the puzzle for the A defense.
Interesting that Bolts gets so passive. He wants to play for the retake, but it's actually the boost up through the tiny window. Josh RT is going to catch the kill from the player on top of Train. Now there's no one left to defend B. But maybe they're overthinking it. The bomb hasn't rotated at all. They've still got a minute to play with, and they are just making this torturous for Luminosity. It's almost psychological at this point. They're just tormenting them, making them think they could be anywhere. 2 players now here to defend B, and there's no one to be found from the T side. It's just Josh RT in his playground. He's on the slides, he's on the monkey bars, and he's finding op kills every direction. Lucas at least answers back from the ladder with 1, but they should be able to isolate him in that position, smoke him or molly him, and prevent it from happening, and Josh RT is still a nuisance on to B. They don't have to commit to this outer take at all.
Yeah,
the bomb can just go back.
This is really messy. I mean, there's players everywhere at this point in time. Lucas now flooding out the ladder. This position is not... It's definitely known. They 100% know he's there, but he's creeping up now. Zeppa removes Nikiz. That's the support player gone down. And Josh RT isolating out Lucas. Again, position known. And it is Royal picking up the first round of this overtime. A massive pickup. Josh RT just single-handedly carrying that first one, didn't he?
He really did. I'm actually surprised that they didn't take advantage of how much space he built towards B. He just kept dropping players. And they're like, no, we're still going to play an A. And Josh RT's like, I guess I'll come over to A and kill people there too. That's what they need. That's the op coming up big. And when you've got that overtime, when the ops can really play, Train is just like a playground. It's paradise.
Definitely.
For the big green gun. Bolts has a tough task ahead of him. He's got so many players who are about to drop onto his head, and now he's going to fade back. Give himself at least a moment to play retake if they do, in fact, decide to press this.
Yeah, look how little the utilities are already here for Luminosity. Not even near the 1 minute mark yet. They're already down to, what, 2 smokes? 1 molly, flashbangs. That's going to be really hard to hold back these executes if they come.
And you saw they came off the double up in the second round of OT. Of course, even with 16K, if you keep buying that double op, if you lose the first 2, that third round becomes very tricky to figure everything out. So they're going to go away from the double op in the second, just keeping it in Henny's hands. We know can be deadly with that gun. Luminosity, they're playing a lot more timidly. They were very aggressive towards the latter half of that of their own CT side in regulation, where they were taking aggressive peeks towards T-Con and towards ladder. This time, they're just on site. They are not getting aggressive in the slightest. And instead, it's an Ivy push from Royal to just start to open up a little bit of space. But Lucas, he might have the flank here. Tex is watching for it. Question is, who pulls the trigger first? Oh, Tex has a nade in hand. That's such bad timing, but he gets around the corner just enough. Lucas is still going to find the frag and the nade damage as well as bodies are dropped towards the keys. Rico next to fall, and it is relatively clean for Luminosity as they answer back that first strong round from Royal with one of their own.
Yep, so round trades, 1 for 1. Not bad. Luminosity, though, they really need the second round because T-side might be a little bit difficult for them. Okay, AWP, double logs. Pretty good buy for Luminosity. All 5 kits available, so no issues there. Now, it seems like Luminosity really like that ladder control. They've had Lucas in this position quite a bit.
It was Nekiz during regulation a lot of the time, just peering up, trying to get that initial pick. It seems like they almost play this in rotation between Lucas and Nekiz. This time it certainly is Lucas. Surprised that nade didn't find anybody, and there's nade sailing down by him, and bodies to follow. The off leads the charge for Josh RT. That's already out of their hands. That was maybe a little bit too bold, and Lucas plays them like a fiddle. One thing that's allowing them to take this ladder aggression is that they trust Bolts to just completely solo play B. They're giving him a huge amount of responsibility towards this inner site.
Right.
And he's been doing it well.
Yeah, I mean, as long as the A defense stays strong, but that seems to be the story of the game, right? I mean, we called it earlier. It's just been A aggression over A aggression over A aggression round after round. Now it's a 1 for 1 trade. B was down to 6 HP. 45 seconds left on the clock, though. That's really starting to limit their options. They have to make a decision, and it has to be sometime soon. The bomb seems to be towards the B. It seems to be towards Brown Halls, but they always do have that ladder option, of course.
It feels like they have had a couple of these rounds where they think about B, they think about B, they think about B, and then they change their mind last minute. Well, this time, Bolts knows that they're coming through, and based on the time of the clock, it's a full commit. He's got them on the cross. There's no smoke for it. Zepplin's dropped low. That HE may finish him if he doesn't go deep enough, but he will indeed, and instead turns it into a big frag. These two players who are so very low, but there are no more HEs. Luminosity's trying to find them, but trying to plant open will be punishing. But jumping through smoke, Nekiz does not expect Rico to be that close up. And so the Royal side, they claim the lead once again. Here in overtime, it's 17-16 on their T side of OT.
Yeah, I mean, you love to see that if you're Royal right now. If you're Royal, you're sitting comfortable. You need 1 more round to secure second OT, and you have yourself 2 more rounds on top of that to try to secure a win. So 2 rounds is all that Royal needs. Luminosity, if they want to win right here, it has to be 3 rounds. It has to be a flawless half on the T side of all things. So it's a bit of an uphill battle here for the Brazilian side. Now, once again, Royal, they really love those AUGs, and that's going to come into massive play here on the CT side.
This time it's going to be B-Wills, who's the lone B Sentinel. He's got support, though. They're not playing it with a lone gun. So Rico close up. And he's just trying to get the wall bang. Zeppel was thinking about creeping forward. Then the op shots start railing through that brick wall. And he says, you know what? The weather's nicer over here. Let's not go there. Let's not deal with that at all.
You mean where it's not raining op bullets?
I mean, they're a little bit large. You know, nice, big, chunky hailstones of op just coming through. They're going to hear the footsteps at the top of ladder, but nobody's dropped down as of yet, so there's no commitment here. Luminosity, a minute down off the clock, and they've been very hesitant. They've got no control over towards the B halls, so that's going to be pretty off limits to them. Someone might be up there, someone might be pushing. Instead, it's going to be Ivy that they start to leak out, start to try and find presence, and that might be the right call as Josh RT is so far back that they block him with a smoke or a flash. they're going to be able to cross in towards Old Palm, no problem. I don't know if they're going to use utility here, though, and there's going to be a gap exploitable, but he misses the first shot. At least the information's here, and the kills are going his way from his teammate. Zeppa coming up big. Josh RT hits an up shot, and they're getting demolished on entry. Luminosity did not leave themselves much time, only 20 seconds, and they've got so much room to travel.
Wow.
Josh RT and Tex lock it down. Royal 18-16, 1 round away from dismantling Luminosity here on Train.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like LG's not really adapted to the AUG meta very well, to be honest. They're just peeking in one by one. That's not going to work against AUGs. That might work against M4s. But against AWPs, against AUGs, that's not going to get the job done. It's just sloppy right now from Luminosity. I have to admit. Royal, they have like I said, 2 chances to close out this game right here. Rico going aggressive. This might be catching Luminosity completely off guard. Able to do a lot of damage, but only able to find 1 kill.
Still, it sets him so off kilter, and now they might suspect that Josh RT is close. Oh, he's getting so aggressive around the edge of the smoke. They're spamming for it, but he's going to hit the shot. There's a molly there, but it goes too deep. He's now locked in, but he's got support. That molly spreads. Now he's got to get in the smoke itself. Does he push out? This is so bold.
Oh my god.
The molly expires just in time for him to get back, and he isn't punished at all. Tiptoeing through the flames. He's somehow still alive, taking another spray as well. He's the Iron Man of the round at this point. Josh RT keeping that off in play, somehow having the savvy to avoid the bullets, and his kill stacking up for Royal as they look to close this out. It's all on Nekiz, the newest addition to the roster, who cannot get it done. 19-16, ladies and gentlemen, Royal have pulled off the upset.
Wow. I'm not gonna lie, I did not expect that one. I thought it was gonna be favoring LG. Especially in OT where the money is a reset, right? But Zeppa just had a massive performance. I think he finished at just slightly over the 1 kill per round, which is obviously a big stat line. But I have to say, I mean, all players have kind of came together in different important rounds, right? You have Josh RT with the AWP kind of kicking off overtime. The first round was just flawless by him, picking up 3 kills. So that was kind of an upset in my opinion. Of course, LG's been a standing roster for a bit of a longer time. And, you know, Royal being such a relatively new roster, I'm really surprised by this outcome. But that was a great performance of Counter-Strike from both sides. A bit sloppy on the LG side. I think they can tighten up just a little bit more. But wow, what a second map we have.
It was definitely a statement game from Royal, saying that they are here to play and they are not a team to underestimate at all here in the Winners League. I mean, that's the beauty of these open leagues. You never know who's going to surprise you. And Royal, they've had some time to gel as a roster now, and they are showing the fruits of that work.
Absolutely. But that does conclude the second match for us, guys. Again, if you have not done so already, please do follow our socials. That is Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook for Winners League, as well as my own socials and Mike's socials down below on Twitter. We appreciate your support. Thank you guys for tuning in. But now we have the third match coming up. It is Int versus Vitriol. Of course, this is a pro team versus a team that is, I believe, competing in advance, if I'm not mistaken. Relatively unknown players, of course, on a big stage. But they're up against Int, so I imagine it's going to be a battle of the Goliath here. And it's going to be an uphill battle for Vitriol. Stay tuned. That should be coming up, I believe, really soon, considering this map did go into overtime. So the action will begin really shortly, guys. Stay tuned, hang around, and we'll be back.